Morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our knowledge sharing session for the month of July. Morning and happy weekend. Please confirm if you can hear me. If you can hear me, if you're joining us from LinkedIn and you can hear me right now, just comment, just drop a comment. Let me know you can hear me, you can see me. I'm excited to have you all join us this morning. Okay. Let me know my speakers. Is there anyone that can hear me loud and clear?
Hi, Uduak. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. I know there's usually a few seconds delay from LinkedIn to where we are streaming from. So I'll just assume that everyone can hear me. Thank you. I want to know where you're joining us from. I would love to know where you're joining the session from. So kindly drop your location in the comments. What part of the world, what part of the country are you joining us from? Drop your comments. I'm still waiting for your comments. Not gotten any yet. Okay. While I'm waiting for you to comment where you're joining us from, I would like you to share this link with your friends. This is going to be a very, very impactful session. So if you know that there's any of your friends that sorry, I think I got cut off briefly. Please confirm you can hear me once again.
Yeah, I can hear you, Uduak. Please go ahead.
Hello, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I don't know if it's my network or something. I'm not getting any feedback. Hi, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Uduak. Please confirm you can hear me too.
I'm not still getting any feedback. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So I've not still gotten any comments for the location you're joining us from, and I'm really interested because I want to know which part of the country you're joining this session from. Be very, very impactful. So share the link with your friends. Make sure that they are joining us and they are not missing out on all the information we are going to be sharing today. So without wasting any much time, I'm going to go ahead to introduce our speakers. For this particular knowledge sharing session, we are going to be talking about networking, strategic networking for career breakthrough. So, next level networking, how do you get to connect? Where do you find people to connect with? The kind of people you're supposed to connect with as a young professional grow Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I'm back. So I was explaining that for this particular knowledge sharing session, we are going to be looking at strategic networking for career breakthrough. And we have some amazing speakers that are going to be talking to us and taking us through the session. And I'll be introducing our speakers. Before I introduce our speakers, can I get some excitement in the comments? If I don't get excitement in the comments, I'm not going to be bringing the speakers on. Okay. Let me just get some reaction for those of us for those of you that are watching us live on LinkedIn. I would like to I would like to get some reactions. Okay, so we have two speakers here with us. Our first speaker is David Inyang. David is a business development manager and a product commercialization for digital repayment company operating across Nigeria. David works closely with leading banks and fintechs from established institutions to fast growing digital players, turning early conversions into long term commercial relationships. David spent his early career in sales at Access Bank, where he learned that winning and keeping a client comes down to trust, consistency, and showing up long after the first handshake. David is an MBA candidate at Ahmadu Bello University. He's passionate about helping early career professionals see networking for what it actually is, building relationships that open doors. Please celebrate our first speaker. Let me get some excitement. Celebrate our first speaker. Celebrate our first speaker, David Inyang. Okay. And then we have our second speaker, Balikis Fatai. Okpeyemi is a product designer who focuses on creating intuitive, user centered digital experiences. She specializes in solving real world problems through thoughtful designs. Her work spans multiple industries, including education, e-commerce, sustainability, and digital services, where she focuses on simplifying complexity and improving usability through thoughtful user experience and interface design. Her strengths include UX strategy, interface design, user flows, and translating complex ideas into simple functional solutions. Okpeyemi is also a content creator and knowledge sharer who enjoys inspiring others through design, technology, and purposeful innovation. Please celebrate our speakers, such a powerful lineup of speakers for us this morning. And briefly, my name is Uduak Okure, and I'm going to be your host and facilitator for today's knowledge sharing session. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions to ask about networking for career breakthrough. Okay, so I was introducing myself. I said my name is Udako Kure, and I'm going to be the facilitator for this particular knowledge sharing session. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to be asking our speakers a couple of questions. And my first question is for Mr. David Inyang. Please kindly confirm you hear me, Mr. David.
Hi, Uduak. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Mr. David, my question for you this morning, when you hear the phrase strategic networking, when we talk about strategic networking, what comes to your mind? How is it different from just simply meeting people or just collecting contacts? Let's say you go to an event, you collect contacts and all. How would you differentiate just collecting contacts and strategic networking?
Thank you very much, Uduak. Lovely to be here. To answer your question, for me, strategic networking is the difference between having someone's number and having someone who will pick your call when it matters. Largely, that's basically the difference. It's not just about getting the numbers, not just about going to events and collecting all the cards that you can gather, all the cards you can get, but will they pick your call when it matters? There are lots of people that it's hard to get a hold of them because of their busy schedules and all. But who are those specific people who you've gotten their cards, you have kept up and done what is necessary. And at the end of the day, once you call, no matter how busy their schedule is, they would be willing to pick your call and go the extra mile for you. That's where you have strategically networked with people, from my own point of view. So largely, I'll say it's about keeping the relationship alive. The person thinks of you at any point in time. You have strategically communicated. Thank you, Edward.
Okay. All right. Thanks. You see what I said? If you're not on this call, you're going to be missing out on a lot of juicy information. So if you know a friend of yours that should be here on this call this morning, kindly send them a note, send them a reminder to join in. We are live. Okay. Back to you, Okpeyemi. You know, a lot of people think that when we talk about networking, it's only for people that are looking for jobs, those that are actively searching for a career opportunity. Now, why do you think everyone should be networking? Tell us why you think everyone should be networking, regardless of where they are or what point they are in their career path. Why everyone needs to network.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. So excited to be here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
We
hear you
can
very
hear
clear.
you. Yes.
All right, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. So I don't think that networking is for professionals who are looking for a job. And that's because I'm going to share this. Say the job that you're currently on right now, you don't know what is going to happen to you in the next 2 years. And the people that might help you or that are going to help you that you don't even know are the people that you have not yet connected with. So this is how I see it. In the next 2 years, you might be out of job and you probably need somebody to reach out to. So you don't want to start networking when you are in need of something, when you're in need of a job. So, and networking is not something you're building relationship with people, and it's not something that happens overnight. It's something that you have to give time. You have to give time, you give it time to water it, you water the relationship, you nurture the relationship. We're talking of like 1 year service, and you're constantly servicing the relationship. So networking is not what you want to do when you are in need of a job. So I see it as everybody needs to network, no matter where you are, no matter where you are in your career, no matter what you do. You need to know people, you need to connect with people, because people have access to information that will move you to the next phase in your career might actually be in the hand of someone you have not yet connected with. So for career advancement, if you are somebody who is big on career advancement, you are doing it the right way, not just connecting with just everybody. You want to be sure of the people that you're connecting with. Are they their values, your values, do they align? Are they people who are in the same page with you? So yes, connecting with people is not for people who are looking for jobs or just for professionals. It's for everybody.
Okay. Thank you for that. There's something I picked out from what she said. She said networking is not something you do when you are in need. You service the relationship. So for those of you that feel like, oh, when I'm looking for a job, that's when I have to actively start networking. She has actually cleared you that even where you are right now, everyone needs to network. Okay, back to you, Mr. David. Can you share with us? a networking experience that has had a major impact in your career, and what made the relationship so valuable? We want to know from your experience.
Okay. Um, that's quite personal. Let me start with this. Um, so, drawing from what Balikis said, um, yeah. So, I had this friend who we met through a referral, not necessarily an event. We met through a referral. He came down to the town where I was at the time. I had to deliver a job for him. In the process of delivering the job, it was quite easy. It was seamless because we communicated very well. After that, he told me to reach out to him when I was in his town, which I did. And over time, we got talking, we maintained relationship, we spoke a lot over time. We spoke about career, spoke about a lot of things. And there was a day an application actually came out. And he was the one that called me up. I was like, "Oh, have you applied for this?" I was like, No, no, I'm not sure I'm really interested in that. And he tried to convince me. This is somebody I really looked up to as a mentor, somebody I looked up to as a more senior friend who is more advanced in the industry. And I actually did not want to, but he helped me through the entire process from start to finish. And that's how I landed my job at Access, as well as the department where I was, where I oversaw a lot of other business partners. And it has brought me to where I am today. Because without him pushing and being persistent, just because I was able to come through where he needed me, just because I was able to keep up with the relationship, I was able to maintain that communication with him over a period of time. Like Baliki said, it could be something you're watering on year on. It keeps going, it keeps going, it takes a while. I knew him for about 2 years before he pitched the idea to me, and over time, we have been able to grow from that stage onward. And today, we can sit down and look back and say, "Oh, we met here. This is where we are now." And he's somebody who currently heads a very senior position at one of the top banks in Nigeria today. And we could always just sit down and have a chat, and this works. That's where networking comes in. And it has been amazing that I knew him and helped me get to where I am today. That's why I'm here. Thank you very much. Good work. Good work. Over to you. Oh, okay. Mm.
Oh, sorry, I think I was muted. Just like David shared his experience, mine is quite similar. So, at my former place of work, there was this guy I connected with. Am I audible? All right. So there was this guy I connected with. He was also a product designer, but at the time he was a contract staff and I was a full-time staff, more like a junior under him. It was my team lead. So this guy, I mean, he was always there to correct my designs and he never got hired. So his contract with the company ended, and
Okay.
last year he reached out to me and he was like, "Hi Aramide, how you doing? There's a guy who is in need of a product designer, and they need a designer, a very good designer who can work with them on the project as well." And I was like, why did this guy remember me? I think the first thing I said was, visit enough for him to have remembered me. And secondly, it's definitely because of the value I showed while I worked with him. You know, he could see the value in me, and because of that, he was able to trust me enough to recommend me for that role. So that relationship did not end there. This new guy that he connected me, a product manager. So this guy, I worked with him on the project. It was meant to be a gig, but the gig led to I was hired for the job. It actually became a job, and then I worked with this product manager, and one day he called me. He said, "Aramide, you're a wonderful designer. I've worked with you on this project and I see how much value you have brought to it. You're actually very good. Your thought process is very beautiful. There's a way you see things. Can you please come to my office and let's talk about it?" And I'm like, "What am I doing? I'm available." So that's the essence of strategic networking. It doesn't end with just relationship. It's one connection leading to another connection. And that is why it is very important that whatever you do it well. Because the people you network with, they have access to rooms that you do not have access to. And these people, when opportunities come from such rooms, they can remember you and recommend you for roles. So it's a relationship that I see as valuable because I offered value first and they can see the value. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for sharing your experience with us, David and Okpeyemi. I have another question to ask you, Okpeyemi. So now we've been talking about why it's important to network, the importance of networking. So let's say someone wants to be more intentional about networking. Where would you advise them to start from? Where do they have to begin? What's just walk us through the process. How does one begin to become more intentional about networking? Can you hear me? Okay, I don't know if Okpeyemi heard the question I asked her, but I'm asking, let's say someone wants to be more intentional about networking, where would you advise the person to start from? Where should the person begin?
Sorry, Udrag, I'm really struggling to hear you. Could you please repeat the question?
Okay, it appears her network is lagging a bit. So let's while we wait for her network to be more stable, let me ask Mr. David this question. Mr. David, how would you identify the right people to build relationships with? You know, Okoyemi said something earlier. She said, when it comes to networking, you have to service the relationship. So it takes time, it takes effort to service a relationship, right? Now, how would you identify the right people for you to build the relationship with rather than just trying to connect with everyone?
Okay, thank you again, Udwak. Identifying the right people. First, I'll ask myself two questions, right? First question is, where am I trying to go to? Who is already there, who has connected to it, so that you're not on a very wild goose chase. Where am I headed? You have your career path planned out, you have everything planned out that you intend to achieve. Now, the next question is, who is there? That's how people mainly determine who their mentors are, who they would decide to fall under their guidance and stuff. Once you've been able to determine who has been there, we're not entirely looking at just people who let's say people who are higher ups or people who are advanced in age, they are also our peers, people around us, people within our circle that have that are either in that line or they are towing that path. They could probably be your accountability partners, sit with them, have conversations where you're trying to determine, oh, who do we pick as a mentor to guide us on this journey? By that time, it gives you a streamlined list, a list of people that you then proceed to begin to engage. When you are engaging them, you're not starting with asking them or telling them this is what you want. Over time, just build a relationship. Earlier, Okpeyemi said, build the relationship that lasts. That's the most important thing about networking. You're building a relationship that is consistent, that is constant. You don't want to have somebody who is a mentor that sees you as a burden, somebody who you could always just, every time you reach out, you're asking for one thing or the other, and the person is reluctant to respond to you. Largely, you would want to have somebody who can be a friend, who can be a confidant, somebody who you would be able to talk to about certain things that would help you, even in your personal space, to grow and meet the level of the career or whatever plan that you have set for yourself. So I believe that's step by step. Ask, you determine where you're trying to go first, then you find out who has connected to it or who has been there, then you get an accountability partner who sits with you and help you through that entire journey. Then it builds a relationship over time. Say for instance, let's take Samuel for instance. So we have Samuel who is the coordinator of the DGI program. It started almost about, give or take, 5 years ago. We met on a group call. It was quite amazing. Today, Samuel is doing amazing things. This is somebody who we have connected on a personal level. We've connected on a professional level. We've had other form of conversations. It helps that tomorrow I'm in Samuel's city. Oh, Samuel, hi! I came in for a particular program or stuff. We could always link up, not necessarily because I need something from him, but because we have a relationship. And 10 years from now, I could always just reach out to Samuel. Oh, there's a project I want to do. Oh, we need somebody who needs to do this. And he becomes the first point of contact to be able to get that done. So that's how relationships work. That's how relationships go. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing those steps with us. One of the things I picked from what he said is that first of all, you need to understand where you want to go. If you don't understand where you want to go, you're just going to make the mistake of connecting with everybody. Anyone that
Mhm.
you see that is doing well, you feel like I should connect with this person, I should be in relationship with this person because you don't have clarity on where you want to go first. So first step is to get clarity on where you want to go. What is it you want to achieve? What is the purpose of this relationship I'm trying to build? That is now going to help you determine who has gone there. So from looking at the people that have achieved what you want to achieve, it's now easy for you to streamline and decide who to build a relationship with and who not to build a relationship with. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mr. David. So I don't know if Okoyemi is back on the call with us. Please confirm. Can you hear me now? Hello, Okoyemi, can you
Yes,
hear
I can
me?
hear you, Udrag.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we had a question to ask you. We wanted to know if someone wants to be more intentional about networking, where should they begin? What are the first things that they need to do? Um, Please, if you can hear me, I think you need to turn on your camera because we're no longer seeing you again.
You,
Okay,
Udrag.
all right. We can now see your pretty face. Okay, so to repeat the question one more time, because the network is not really friendly this morning. We are asking because we want to know if someone wants to be more intentional about networking, where should they begin?
Okay, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so I think the first thing is to be intentional, but now to be more intentional. So you don't want
Okay.
to, I think it starts from renewing your mind because we've been fed and taught the wrong way to network. Because before now, when I was very much new to networking, I attend events just to collect people's number because I believe that once I have your contact and you have my contact and we can view each other's WhatsApp statuses, I'm fine. So if I need anything, I can easily reach out to you. And if you need anything from me, you can easily reach out to me. So I think that mindset should be done away with. So it starts from you renewing your mindset. And when you get it the right way, then anytime you have an event to attend, it's very important for you to set goals, event goals. This event I'm attending, what do I want to achieve from it? How many people do I want to connect with? So you can set goals as many as as far as writing down the number of people that you want to connect with. I want to connect with 10 people at this event. And you already understand strategic networking. It's not just by collecting their number. No. So you want to go from there and be intentional about keeping those people in your circle. So you collect their numbers, then you reach out to them and you keep servicing the relationship till you become they can see you as somebody who is truly valuable and they are willing to keep you in their circle. So it's very important, much more than being intentional. You also have to set event goals. Know the people that you want to connect with, know why you are connecting with them. It's very important. So thank you.
Okay. So I think from what he said she's from what she said one of the most important thing is setting goals. So I think we can all agree that the first step is always to have clarity, understand what you want to achieve, what is the end, what is the big picture, why do you want to network, to what end you get. Once you've established and you've gotten clarity on that, it's easy to begin networking, knowing the kind of events to attend, where to find the kind of contacts you want in your circle. Okay. Now, Mr. David, I would like to ask a question. We've been talking about meeting people, getting contacts, being connected to people. Now, meeting someone is one thing. It's one thing to meet someone and collect their contacts, but then building a lasting relationship with this person is another thing. How do you stay connected over time? We are interested to know how you personally, how do you stay connected with these people over time to ensure that the relationship is sustained?
Thank you again, Udwak. Staying connected. So there's something that I learned over the past couple of years that you cannot keep the names of all the people that you've connected with on your head. You can't commit them to memory, especially when you're dealing with a vast number of, say, clients, vast number of customers, relatives, when you even begin to track from family to friends to relatives to university classmates to secondary school classmates is a lot, is really a lot. But the one thing that has helped over time is building a system that helps. The system could be like a very small Excel file, just one sheet that has the list of people broken down. Take, for instance, you could decide to name each sheet university classmates that are dear to you, pick the top 10 or pick the top 20 or 15. And primary school classmates that are dear to you, pick the top 10. Top clients that you deal with over time, name them on different sheets. Once you have that, you are able to now, you have the name, you have um, they call it what connected you to them or how you guys connected, and then what you intend to get from them at the end of the day. Just three things on that list. Once you have that, oh, it goes beyond, oh, I have met somebody today, I've gotten his number. Once you're reaching out to the person, you're doing a follow-up to say, we met today, we discussed this was amazing, thank you very much, the insight was awesome. Then the next time you're reaching out to them, you're telling them, oh, based on the last thing we discussed, this is what we've done, this is how I've proceeded on that, and it helps you be able to. But once you have that structure and that system in place, that you decide to set a calendar notification that says, oh, every 2 weeks, reach out to university classmates on the list. Every 1 week, reach out to your family members. Every 2 months, reach out to your top clients. But you know, clients are supposed to be very, very important. Those ones are most likely every day or every 2 weeks and stuff. So it depends on the frequency in which you set these calendars. But once you've set the system, you have put down the names, put down the ideas, put down what you intend to discuss with them over time, and then you begin to follow that routine over and over and over and again. And that way it helps you maintain the relationship. It helps keep you in check with how you intend to manage that process as it goes. It's just a simple system. You don't have to load everything in your brain. You have a structure, you have a system in place. You are able to follow your system judiciously and you're good to go. The same way you are able to sit down and scroll through your Instagram for like 30 minutes or 1 hour in a day, you could also have that system that says, oh, I'll make a 2 minutes or 5 minutes phone call to this person, or I'll make a 1 minute phone call to this person, or just send a hi on WhatsApp that says, oh, hi, how are you doing? I've not heard from you in a while. Um, just thought to check up on you, thought to say hi. I hope you're doing well. That's all it takes. That way you are back on the person's mind over time as it goes. Thank you.
Okay. Um, when you talked about using Excel sheets, I remembered when I took a particular course, and then at the end of that course, we were asked to map our network. We were introduced to a similar system, mapping your network. So it was we were asked to use like a spreadsheet, write out all the contacts, where you met them, the last time you were in touch with them, how do you intend to reach out, prepare, like set up how the system, how you want to reach out to them, whether it's via email, WhatsApp, or other communication channels. So you just reminded me of that, mapping your network. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you also said something about scheduling reach outs. I think I mean, I can really relate to that because there's a time where my best friend and I, we just realized that we've let adulthood enter in between the relationship. We are so busy that we forgot we go a month without reaching out to each other, which we saw as a taboo. So I had to schedule on my calendar the day, every Thursday 4 p.m. Call bestie. That way, it looked funny at first having to schedule calling your best friend in the calendar, but subsequently I began to look forward to Thursday 4 p.m.s. Although other we chat, but I was really looking forward to that weekly check-in where we get to call and everything. So thank you very much for sharing those strategies with us, Mr. David. Okay.
Thank you very
I have
much.
another question for you, Okpeyemi. Um, of course, we are live on LinkedIn right now, and we know that LinkedIn is one of the biggest professional networks that connects professionals. How can someone stand out when sending connection requests or when reaching out to industry professionals? How can one stand out on LinkedIn? Saying I know we get connection requests daily from LinkedIn. What makes a connection request stand out to you to immediately want to check out the person's profile and want to connect with the person? You're muted. We can't hear you.
So I'm just going to be sharing my experience because what makes your connection request stand out from the ordinary one? Because the one we are used to is people just sending connection requests to you and then you accept it and then they are in your mm, they belong to your connection list. Quite all right. But
Okay.
somebody who sends a connection request to you with a thoughtful message, they are trying to pass a message to you, right? It could be that maybe you have recently connected with them at an event and you sent a thoughtful message to them within 24 hours of connecting with them. Hi, the conversation that we had about so. I look forward to staying connected. It could be a very very you have seen what they are doing, you have seen what they are building, and you are really commending them. You're saying how proud you are, how
I
much
don't
they are
know.
bringing to the
Okay.
table, how they are transforming lives. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. You're back. Please go ahead.
Telling them how proud you are. They are changing lives with what they are building and what they are doing. Something is more than somebody who just sends connection request to you. And the next thing, some people can be very funny. The next thing they are asking you, I applied for so 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 role at your company. I don't know if you are connected with this person. I'm not audible. Can you hear me?
Yes, just network interference, but we can hear you. Please continue.
All right, thank you very much. So I was saying that some people can be very funny with they just met you, they sent a connection request to you, and you accepted. And the next thing they reach out to you, applied for so 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 role at your company. I don't know if you are connected or you are very close to the HR. If you could just very funny messages like that. This is somebody you don't even know from anywhere. There is no thoughtful message from you. That's not thoughtful enough. So for someone who sends that kind of message and somebody who send a thoughtful message, who do you think the person would want to connect with first? Because you're passing a message from your thoughtfulness. They also want to have you in their network. So, and I think it starts from you being thoughtful. And so your thoughtfulness, it will show in your thoughtfulness. What you want will show in your thoughtfulness. So it's very important that when you are sending connection requests out to people, you're not doing it the
It looks like we've lost her again. Network has really been fluctuating this morning, so I would just apologize on behalf of the speakers for the network interference from time to time. She mentioned being thoughtful when you reach out. Thoughtfulness is very important. Your first message is I was talking to someone recently about how you can turn cold DMs into warm DMs. When you're making the initial when you're reaching out to someone initially, avoid pitching. Don't just go straight to pitching or telling the person. Don't just go straight to asking for something. Don't just go straight to making a request. From Remember, this is a code DM. You don't know this person from anywhere. You're just connecting with the person online. So your first initial communication shouldn't be a want, a request, asking. You get more like a thoughtful message complimenting the person on maybe what the person posts, or how maybe you're happy to have the person in your network or something like that. You get Don't just go straight to just pitching or making sales selling something in someone's DM. I think Mr. David wants to add something to what Okoyemi said earlier, so I'll just give the floor to him to just add one or two.
Okay, thank you again, Udwak. Thank you very much. Again, I would like to apologize for the network interference on our end. Just to draw from what Okbayemi said as regards somebody sliding into your DM, a bit of an experience. Just about 3 days ago, somebody sent me a connection request on LinkedIn, and by the time I accepted, in less than 30 seconds, I'm getting a message that says, "Oh, my name is this, I work with this. Would like to offer you a loan for something, something, something. And I was in my head, I was like, okay. I immediately just went and how they to do it, unfollow, unfriended, unconnected the person. And I'm like, why would you do that at the first instance? Alternatively, there's a guy that reached out to me a couple of months ago, and the message he sent to me was more or less like, oh, I see that you've done great work at Access. I see that you've managed so and so business and line, and I have a company that does this, and this. How can we partner? Do you have time for us to sit down to have a meeting? I'm available for a call. Here's my email. We can exchange communication and then do something on a project. And in the first instance, the first thing I'm doing was, oh, I'm Googling his company. I'm finding out who he is. I am trying to see if it's something that I will be willing to enter into. By the time I realized it was something that I could do, I sent him an email. And I was like, oh, I got your connect on LinkedIn, and I would like to do something with you. And today we're in business and we are connected together through APIs and all of that. Um, what I'm trying to say is, rather than just sending a connect message, rather than just clicking on connect, sometimes LinkedIn does this thing where it says when you try to connect, they'll ask you add a note. That note is a very powerful tool to say, oh, this is exactly how you intend to get there. And before you do that, you're researching that particular person you're trying to add. Find out information about the person, go through the person's profile. If the person has other platforms, you can look through, find one unique thing that you would want to pitch in there in that note to say, oh, you've done this. I'm looking at towing this line. Is this something we could sit down and have a conversation? Is this something we could always engage on? And that should be able to open the necessary door for you to be able to even speak to the person in the first place. Person being curious that you've taken your time, done your homework, captured whatever information you need to capture, put that forward to them. They would want to be willing to hear you out. They want to be willing to engage with you. They would want to be willing to even partner with you to be able to do what you need to get done. So that's my one bit to add. Thank you again, Udwa.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for the knowledge that you're sharing with us. I mean, it's a knowledge sharing session, so thank you very much. Okay, so I have another question for you, Mr. David. I know previously we talked about how you build long-lasting relationships and stay connected for a long period of time, how you stay connected over time. But I'm also curious to know, like, when you meet
Mhm.
someone professionally, what is your approach to follow up? How do you follow up? Like, I'm talking about the first few days or hours after you meet someone. Walk us through how you do a follow up. Like, you know, how do you reach out to the person? How do you maintain that initial connection after a professional meetup or meeting?
Okay. Um, People can be sensitive. Let me start that way. People can be quite sensitive. You have met somebody for the first time today. Naturally, people would always, or rather, when you're meeting somebody for the first time, especially when the person is influential, you would feel like, oh, because I have this person's contact or because I can reach this person, is it gives you an avenue to be able to just engage or slide into the person's DM to say, oh, we met, oh, it's amazing meeting you, nice to meet you, and all of that. Sometimes that's not what the case is. For me, naturally, I meet you, I give it 24 hours. And after 24 hours, I'll drop you a message to say, lovely connecting with you. It was an amazing time talking about this, and this with you. I felt so inspired. I did a bit of research and I found out this, and it's something that's quite insightful. Thank you again. Thank you very much. It does not have to be just a nice to meet you note, but something that is remarkable. So by the time the person reads your message, the person is like, oh, okay, this guy actually learned something. Who is this person? It will be lovely to hear back from this person. So that keeps that curiosity alive. It keeps that it puts you back on the person's mind most times, especially when the person comes across this particular thing again somewhere. the first person that comes to his mind is, oh, okay, I had a conversation with this guy. I This is what he picked out. This is something I can go do going forward. And it's something that you stay on their radar gently. You're not too forward, you're not too in their face,
Yep.
just very subtly, very gently. Just to throw a bit of experience in there. There was a day I met with, well, I wouldn't want to call the company, he's the CEO of the company technically. I was assigned to let's say, be a concierge to him in a way. And after the entire engagement, he gave me his card. It was like, reach out to me. And I didn't reach out to him for about a month. And then after about 3 months, we met at another event. I really could not go up to him to say, oh, yeah, we met so and so day. This is where we have, wait, this is where I am. This is what I do. It was kind of off. But then I thought to myself, if there is something remarkable that we would do today to say, oh, the next time I'm reaching out to him, he is going to want to have to listen to me. I walked up to him, said, oh, lovely session, spoke to him about it. It was quite interesting. After that, I didn't say anything. 24 hours, I'm reaching out to him to say, oh, hi, how are you doing? My name is this from here. I just wanted to check up on you. That's all. A month later, I'm reaching out to him to say, oh, okay, happy birthday, happy new year. Oh, I hope you're doing good. How's the family? Lo and behold, he visited my church one day and he was like, oh, yeah, I'm in your church. How are you? Can we get to see? And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And over time, we've just kept up that constant communication, reaching out, saying hi from time to time. It could be 2 months, 3 months, and we say hi. And it has helped manage the relationship over time. So that first initial 24 hours, give it time, find something remarkable that both of you talked about, something intentional from the conversation, put it back to the person to say, oh, this was amazing. I learned this. This is what I was able to grab. This is where we are, and I would like to keep in touch. From there on, you could do it bi-weekly, like the schedule says, like I mentioned earlier. On that schedule, once you've added the person's name, you decide how long or how often you want to reach out to this person. Bi-weekly, bi-monthly, you would always reach out to maintain that relationship. That way, the person remembers you for most of the conversations you're having, just beyond what you people mm, experienced the first time or the beyond the conversation you had the first time. But going forward, they would always remember you for any other thing. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. What you said, when you're making the initial, people always make that mistake. When they reach out to someone after they've connected with the person, they try to be all pushy. Oh, it was so nice to meet you. You're overwhelming the person, you get. So I like how you were able to like break it down, walk us through an example and of how you're able to reach out to someone. Very, very practical response. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also doing your findings. I mean, I recently connected with someone last month, and when the person reached out to me, the person was like, so you're a public speaker. I've seen the events here. I'm like, really? He said, forgive me, I did a bit of stalking because I wanted to get to understand you better. So when he came to my DM, we had he came up with something that we could use to converse about a lot of
Mhm,
things. So that was like a
mhm.
good follow up, after meeting me. So thank you very much. So I have one last question for you, Okoyemi. You know, when we are talking about strategic networking now, but let's not forget the fact that while some people are very extroverted, we have people that are also very introverted, that are very shy people. They shy away from events, they shy away from talking to people. In fact, walking up to someone is a very, very big issue for them. So my question to you is for those professionals that are introverted or very shy, what advice would you give to them for to give to them, or like let's say someone that finds networking to be very intimidating, how would you advise someone like that?
There's
Um
a root cause for everything. And
okay.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Loud and clear, please go ahead.
Alright. So there's a root cause for everything, and the first step is to trace it to the root cause. So what's the cause of that root cause? There's a reason why you feel intimidated talking to people, especially successful people, people you look well, sorry, people you look up to rather. So you need to deal with the root cause. And the root cause could either be you are feeling inferior to them, or you have a very low self-esteem. And these things can be dealt with, their feelings, right? So if you have a low self-esteem, you already know that you need to start doing things that will elevate your self-esteem, that will help you to build that self-esteem. And if you are feeling inferior, if it is inferiority complex, you need to build up your self-esteem to a level that you become unstoppable, and you can tell yourself that with people, to be able to stand up to people, to be able to like meet them and talk to them without it being intimidating. And shyness will never take you anywhere if you know where you are going. If you can see, if you can see the picture of where you are going, then you can see where you are heading. Then you can any successful person in life that got to that room because of shyness. Maybe they felt it at one point or the other in their life, but it was dealt with. So my advice to them, to people like that, maybe I've been like that before, you have to deal with what is keeping you in that circle. You have to deal with it and come out of your shell. So yeah, thank you very
Uh,
much.
okay, Okwemi has just let us know that for people that usually feel intimidated to network, there's basically a root cause of the problem, which might stem from an inferiority complex or a low self-esteem, and res- um, addressing those problems from the root cause is going to help to build up your self-esteem and make you more approachable, like give you the confidence to approach people and network properly. Okay, so the final question to you, Mr. David, please, if you have any questions for the speakers, we can just take only two questions. We are running out of time, so if you have any questions for the speakers, just drop the questions in the chat. I'll take just two questions. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. David, now this is going to be a very practical question, okay, for our listeners. So for people that have listened in from the beginning when we started talking about what networking means, how do you identify the people to networking, they've listened in and they've taken down a lot of notes. Okay, they have decided that they want to become intentional about networking from this moment. What are the first three things you would advise them to do? What should they do in the next 30 days? Like in the next 1 month, what are the first three things you would tell them, advise, them to start from? What should they do?
Okay. Thank you again, Udwak. Three things. First, I would say pick the top five people in already in your network. It could be anyone. It could be some people you've not reached out to in a while. So long as they are already in your network, pick them up, reach out to them. No agenda, no nothing, just genuine interest. Ask how they're doing, ask what they're working on now, ask where they are in life. You could always just catch up on, oh, back in the day we used to do this, back in the day we used to do that. Do you still do them? Do you still maintain that lifestyle? It's amazing. I hear you're married now. Tell me about your family. Just this little information. Just ask generally, genuinely. Number two, you then build that follow-up system, your Excel spreadsheet, put those people's name down, add the time of date. It could just be four easy columns that says, oh, the name of the person, what matters to them, the conversations that you people enjoy having, the last time you contacted them, and then the next time you intend to engage them. Just basic information something that makes it very easy for you to catch up. Oh, you are calling, say for instance, you reach out to an old secondary school classmate. You're calling the person 1 month from now. Oh, we spoke 1 month ago on so and so day. We talked about this. And then you could bring up what you need to talk about next time. Very easy steps. After you have picked those 5 people, you've built your system on how you intend to engage them going forward. And the third thing, just something very useful to them, no expectation, no nothing, just share. You could see a will I say, like a job interview, an idea somewhere, an Instagram post, something that is thoughtful, something that is educative, something that is insightful. You could just share with them and be like, oh, we could discuss this when you have the time. We could talk about this when you have the time. And tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you think about this. And then it strikes up conversations that you could maintain over time. You pick 5 people, build your system, share them intros, thoughtful comments, and all of that, and then maintain the conversations over time. Make sure it is frequent, make sure it's something that you can live with. And that way you'll be able to build that ability to be able to network over time with anybody wherever you are.
Okay. Um, I believe everyone that's listening in on this call has taken down those 3 steps that he talked about. One of the first thing is picking the people that you want to reach out to, reaching out to them, then setting up a system that will enable you to maintain the relationship over time and build the relationship to last. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Even as the host for this event, I actually had my notes here. I had my notes here where I was writing down all the points that the speakers, in fact, let me not call it points, let me call them gems. While I was writing down all the gems that the speakers shared. So thank you so much, Okpeyemi Fatai. Thank you so much, David Inyang, for taking out time to share this insights and knowledge with us today. It's been a pleasure to have you on this call this morning. And I had just checked through the comments and the chat. I don't see any question, which goes to say that you guys were explanatory enough. You guys explained, and nobody has any question to ask. So I think we're just going to end the session here. Thank you everyone for joining the knowledge sharing session, the July knowledge sharing session. I look forward to the August knowledge sharing session. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your
Thank you.
weekend.
Thank you for
Bye.
having me. Bye.
Bye.